Hi, this is Lisa Rango with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be a little bit more of just sort of a speaking from the top of my head kind of topic versus an actual, say, learning experience, but we're going to still learn today. I promise you that. So the topic for today is: only when this happens will you be able to make change. So that's the topic. You're probably thinking, well, Lisa, what's this? I will get to that in just a minute. So over the last week, we've seen headlines depicting really ruthless layoffs. And it's never an easy time when that happens. I mean, layoffs happen as a part of a cycle in business at any given point. It's been happening for decades. Ruthless, there's really never room for that when it's done that way. It can always be done compassionately, in my opinion. But with all that said, I just want to say we've been through this before, right? We've been through this before. We've seen this headline type, several times a year, every year for decades, right? So, we hear the last few months have been, I think, particularly tough for many people, for many reasons that, I can believe are the case, but, frankly, it's above my pay grade. It doesn't, what I think on the subject of why things are harder really doesn't totally matter. But I will tell you this. And this is the thing that I'm talking about from the headline of this video today, or the topic of this video today, is we talk to prospective clients, job seekers, senior level people weekly since, I've been doing this since 2009 and recruiting before then. And, the one theme that is very constant is people get tired of where they are and they do want to change it, but they don't know how. And they let the not know how get in the way of making the change. And it's because of this. So this is this. Frankly, my observation in many cases is that their comfort for what is predictable is still greater than their desire to want the change. And until you want the change more than you want the comfort of what's familiar to you, you're not going to make the change. That's this. Until you say, I'm willing to let go of the comfort and of this predictability, right? The comfort of familiarity, even though it's awful and it's not good for you. Until you're willing to let that go, you will not take the steps to make change, because change is uncomfortable, even if it's better for you. And people like staying in comfort even when it's not good, right? Because there's comfort in predictable. There's comfort in it being familiar. There's comfort in, knowing what's coming next, even though you don't like it, right? So until you're willing to break from that, and go out and put yourself in wildly uncomfortable situations to manifest that change, to have that change start to take root, to try different things and see what works, to be okay with trying something and it not working, but you try something else. Until you're willing to look at, say, the 5 ways things may work versus always focused on the 40 ways that it may not work. So you stay in your comfort. You tell yourself that it's not going to work so you can stay in your comfort zone. Until you're willing to take some risks. And again, that desire for change has to be greater than the comfort of your familiar. Until that happens, you're not making any change. So, and why do I bring this up? So I bring this up because I really think there are a lot of people out there right now who are unhappy with their situation. Now I'm forgetting the source, so bear with me. But there was an article a few months ago that there's 70% of executives that are not happy in their, I think it was a Deloitte survey. I hope I'm getting that right. That said 70% of executives aren't happy in their current role, and they're expecting to probably change jobs. And honestly, I don't know how often that number is very different, despite the churn and the uncertainty that we have in today's economy. But, so I don't know. I don't know if that is an alarming statistic or if that is just from doing this for a long time now. We're constantly seeing people unhappy in their positions and wanting changes for different reasons, right? For meeting family reasons, for meeting health reasons, for meeting quality of life reasons, for fulfillment changed reasons. Different levels of fulfillment are needed, so they need a change that's not within their control, so they have to change just because things changed even though they don't want them to change. So there's all kinds of change that people have wanted in their life, and have done job changes where they weren't happy in their job. So I don't, is that, even if it's 10-15% lower, that's still over 50%, so I don't know how alarming that statistic is, but it goes to show that there is always change. And I bring this up because in light of the recent rounds of headline layoffs, just because it's not making a headline doesn't mean layoffs aren't happening. That's number one, which just goes to show that if you want the change, you have to go for it. You have to be ready to do it. And don't mentally beat yourself up if you're still not changing, but you want the change. It's because you're not willing to give up the comfort of predictable just yet. But you can still be prepared for what's to come. You can be prepared for when you are ready to make the change. You still can take steps without making movement in your job. And that's my mantra. That's my why, is just be prepared. That, it's taken me years to kind of figure out my why, for some reason. I don't know. But it really is just wanting people to be prepared, because, you either don't think you're going to need this, and you will at some point, and hopefully you don't. Hopefully you absolutely never use it, because that means you're gainfully employed and being sought after. But if you find yourself needing it, it's so much better to have it. If you find yourself in one of those headline layoffs, you already have it done, and you can start looking and capitalizing on the goodwill that comes from these types of headline layoffs. You can capitalize on, think of all the LinkedIn posts of people saying, I have these open jobs, message me if you need help. Well, you will be able to do that because you have a document ready to go, as opposed to spending this weekend now getting it together and losing that immediacy, the goodwill immediacy effect. So just have the stuff ready. Have it ready. That's my mission. That's my goal, is just have documents ready that you could always be ready to send. And then if change is forced upon you, like for some this weekend, you're ready. And until you reach that pivot point of your comfort of your familiar is not greater than your desire to change. So your desire to change is greater. When that pivot happens, boom, you will be ready to go also. And you'll be able to capitalize on that momentum of wanting the change, instead of having that desire to change be slowed down a bit because now you got to get everything ready. So just get it ready. Just get it ready. So I'm doing a free resume training session, and you'll be able to register using the link below. It's 60 minutes roughly. Sometimes I run a little over with the Q&A, and we're going to show before and after resumes. We're going to show you the sections of resumes that grab recruiters' attentions. Again, I was a recruiter for 13 years, and I know where the eye goes when these are being looked on devices, on screens, and just I want to show you how to get seen, how to be noticed, so you can land six-figure interviews. So feel free to register down below. If you know of someone who will like this video, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you like the video and you're sharing it with someone, I'm also going to ask you to like it. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss next week's video. And if you have a comment or a question, feel free to comment below or email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com. I pride myself on reading and replying to every email and every comment. I do the best that I can. And I welcome all your feedback, and I thank you for watching this and look forward to seeing you on the training. So take good care.